I mentioned Elon University in every speech. You know, we changed presidents at Elon. We had Dr. Leo Lambert, and boy, he was good. But we have a new president, and her name is Dr. Connie Book. And she's here. Thank you, Connie. I appreciate it. Can barely see. Thank you for coming tonight. This is a situation. I didn't really vote for you because the committee was made up of students, faculty, staff, alumni, and a couple of trustees. I wasn't on the couple of trustees. But then the time came when we were going to have a meeting to select, and they were going to say who the committee wanted to get. And we made it a secret meeting because the Elon way was at 8 o'clock on Monday, they would announce the presidency, and they didn't want it flying all over social media the night before. So we were all snuck over to Greensboro. I don't know if snuck's a good word, but you know what I'm talking about. And we all voted unanimously on Dr. Connie Book after hundreds. Everybody applied for the job, of course. That was on a Sunday. Keep the timeline in mind. On Monday at 8 o'clock, right on schedule, Elon announced to the world wide the new president of Elon. Oh, everybody was happy. On Wednesday, 2 days later, I flew to Louisiana. I've spoken in Louisiana, I don't know how many times, but it's usually in New Orleans because that's where the conventions are held. This time I went to Lake Charles, Louisiana. This was a ticketed event, which means when it's over, you have a meet and greet, which I absolutely love, and you meet people. And the people are usually girls' night out groups, families, all these different little groups. But coming through the line in Lake Charles, Louisiana, was one woman by herself. She would step up and step up. She didn't have a DVD. She didn't get any merch. She didn't have a ticket for me to sign. She didn't have a program. She just had her purse waiting. And when she got up, she said, "Jeannie, I don't have anything for you to sign, but it's quite interesting to me. Did you mention Elon University several times in your speech?" And I said, "Well, yes, I did." Now, my first thought was, she's an Auburn grad, and she's fixing to say to me what I have heard. "Why are you talking about Elon and not Auburn?" I said, "I mentioned Auburn in the speech, too." She said, "I heard that, but you mentioned Elon 2 or 3 times. And I thought back about the stories I'd used that night, and I said, "Well, you're right." And of course, I would ask what the normal question would be. I said to her, "Do you have a student at Elon?" She said, "No. My niece is a professor at Elon University." And I said, "Wow, that's great. That's absolutely wonderful. I don't think I know all the professors, but let's take a chance. What's your niece's name?" Well, she changed directions immediately, and she said, "Well, she's not a professor there anymore." And I thought, oh, my word, I'm dealing with a dingbat. She's not a professor there anymore. My niece is the first woman provost at the Citadel. My antenna went out. I knew this woman's resume back and forward. And I turned to the people behind in line. I said, "Everybody, come over here. We're going to do something that's just loads of fun." And this woman just standing there. And I said, "Come on, everybody can hear me. Did you hear me mention Elon University?" And they, yes. And I said, "Okay, watch this woman's face. I'm getting ready to tell her something, and I want you to see how excited she gets." And I said, "Ma'am, your niece is the new president of Elon University." And all of these people just got right in it and went, "Oh, yay, yay, yay." This woman didn't break a smile. She stared at me. Wouldn't you think she would go, "Oh, you can't be serious. You don't mean that." No, she just stood there. And then she spoke and said, "My niece is the provost at the Citadel." And I said to the people, "All right, y'all, come on even closer. Watch this, watch this. On March 1st, your niece is moving back to Elon, and she is the new president." No reaction. And then she spoke. She still has a house near Elon. And I said, "You're not listening to me. Some people gave Elon a huge home for the president's mansion, the Maynard house. You're going to have a niece that's going to be living in a big house." Nothing. She just stared at me, and finally she spoke again and said, she has 8 brothers and sisters. I said, as a trustee, that is not of interest to me unless she moves them and their families into the big house. And at that point, she said, thank you very much. She never smiled. She never reacted. She just stood there, Dr. Book. She just stood there. But I was aware she didn't go at about 20 feet away, and everybody else stepped up. But I'm aware she's over there watching. And in a few minutes, she started back. She came up to these people and said, I was just here. I don't think I should have to wait in line again. May I please say something else to Jeannie? And of course, they all backed up and said, sure, go right ahead, that's fine. She turned her back completely from all these people. None of them could see her. And she looked at me and said, are you sure? I said, I'm sure. Thank you. And she left. As fate would have it, several days later, we had our regularly scheduled trustee meeting and Dr. Book came for a few minutes. She couldn't stay the whole thing. She's wrapping up things at the Citadel. But I had a few minutes to talk to her, and I said, Dr. Book, I know all of your credentials. I know all the things you've done. Most impressive. Far be it from me, a PE major from Auburn, to start giving you advice on how to run or do anything at the university. But I do think I can give you one pretty good piece of advice. Call your Aunt Barbara. And Dr. Book went, oh, Aunt Barbara, I forgot Aunt Barbara. Would you stand for just 1 second and let us welcome you to Alamance County? Thank you. Appreciate it so much.